Trying to go live and it's just. There we go. Okay, now I can bring everybody in. So good morning, everyone, and apologies for the slight delay. I was having a little bit of technical difficulty, and I do run the meeting as well as conduct court. So I do, she's a passenger though. Ms. Tina's iPhone, are you a passenger? I can't hear you, but yeah, just talking.
Hello?
Yeah, are you a passenger?
I am a passenger.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Ms. Evans, actually, the state has exercised its discretion and decided to dismiss the charges that you had.
Okay.
And that does conclude your business with the court.
Okay.
We will email that dismissal to the email that we set the meeting up for today.
Okay.
So you're free to go with the thanks of the court at this time.
All right. You have a good day.
And you too, ma'am. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And actually, I would ask too if Horace Marshall is here. I have a few folks I haven't identified yet. So Horace Marshall, that case has also been dismissed. And so court is not necessary at this time. If someone is here for that case, you're free to hang up at this time. If I could quickly just ascertain a couple of folks, person in kind of a lilac t-shirt, I just sent you a request and it's an iPhone, and I just would ask your name, please. You're talking, I can't hear you. Yes.
I can't tell.
Sorry.
No, it's a lilac t-shirt, so like purplish shirt, and she was talking. Yes,
Oh,
you're
I'm
waving.
not.
You're not in the
Oh.
lilac shirt, sir. What is your name, ma'am? Your microphone either needs to be turned on because mine's all the way up or something's the matter, but
She may not be connected to audio, but that's my client, Jasmine Moore.
okay, that'll work. Thank you for letting me know, Attorney Galvin, excuse me. Okay, Ms. Moore, your attorney's got you figured out for me, so thank you. Let's see. When I change people's names, it's not permanent. It just changes it so I can keep track. Now, I did have attorney, and I can't remember your name, but you were unmuting and you thought I meant you, which is understandable. But yeah, kind of a blue shirt. It might be lilac, actually. I'm sorry about that. What's your name?
Oh, are you talking to me, Judge?
Yes, sir. What's your name?
Blake Stone from Todd Tkach's office. Sorry, it wasn't updated on my, I guess, the title.
That's okay. I did note when you came in, so I'm good there. Let's see. And I think that's all for that type of thing. I got everybody else sorted out. If you are here for pretrial, which is most of our things today are for that, I'm going to go ahead and begin the breakout room for that while I make announcements. And I have to credit Zoom. They have moved absolutely every button. So give me a second here. Mr. Matson is our city's prosecutor. And if Mr. Matson, could you unmute and just introduce yourself?
Good morning, everyone. I'm Ryan Matson. I'm the prosecutor for Temple.
Okay, so Mr. Matson is the equivalent, really, of the district attorney at the city level. And he will meet with folks today regarding their matter with the court. I would say most of the cases are contested this morning, which means that we're on YouTube. I mean, we're not, well, we are on YouTube, but we are on line, and that's by agreement because it's convenient. If for any reason you would rather just come in and not be on this platform, let me know. We can arrange that. But today, right now, I'm assuming that by agreement, everybody is fine, just, checking in on the case. Saving the trip is kind of what we're doing. We don't conduct contested hearings this way most of the time, and we don't conduct trial but it's a good opportunity to check in. Mr. Metzen, I'm going to move you forward with actually Ben Koshi. Did I say that correctly, sir?
Yes, Your Honor, you did.
Thank you. He's the attorney for Mohammed Nazir, and I'll go ahead and let you folks visit while we're talking in the other room here. After y'all visit, y'all will move back over and we'll just check in and see where we are with regard to the matter before the court. Thank you. So we don't have that much. I know it seems like a lot of people on the screen, but we don't have that much to do today. So I may not get through all these announcements before it's time to go, but I do let folks know, when you're given a ticket, when you're given a citation, those are methods for making an accusation against you. That's what it is. It's an accusation. And we've all heard these words, but they're true. We are presumed to be not guilty. If we change that with our plea, then that changes that. But it would only change by us with our plea, or if we go to trial, a jury could find us not guilty or guilty. If you plead guilty, therefore, we are moving that case toward a trial process, which we are engaging in today. If you plead guilty, you admit the offense. You're saying, as charged, I did this. If you plead no contest, you're saying, I'm not telling you I did it. I'm not telling you I didn't do it. I just want to move forward, not contesting. Nolo contendere, sometimes people call it. Not contesting means I'm not admitting or denying the offense, but I'm moving forward. I know I'm moving forward with sentencing. It's a way to move into sentencing without admitting or denying the offense. So those really are the three pleas: guilty, not guilty, and no contest. If you plead no contest or guilty, I move into sentencing. And at that point, there are still 4 dismissal options in Class C courts that the judge has available from the bench. I'm going to tell you just how those work because I tell everybody the same information when I have a chance. And that's because Class C courts work a little differently in some respects from other types of courts. Many, many things are the same, such as the right to trial. But one of the things that is different is that the judge has certain authority to do dismissals that are specifically authorized. Judges, it always looks like it in the media, like a judge threw a thing out or something of that nature. But what actually happened is a bunch of lawyering behind the scenes, and then the judge signs off on those types of agreements. So those are really, when we see that, those are generally agreements, or sentencings look like judges just did these things, and they did do those things, were accountable, but at the same time, generally those are agreements. And the other, where judges simply do things like sentence a person, find a person guilty. If that's happening to you, you're told well in advance. It's not, and you're given options heading in that direction. So in Class C courts in Texas, there's a little bit different authority. And because it's different, I do like to just kind of alert people to it. So if you plead guilty or no contest, there are still 4 dismissal options available in a Class C court in Texas from the bench. I'm just going to tell you the names of them, and then I will just tell you quickly how they work. So they are compliance dismissals, driver safety course options, deferred dispositions, and teen court. Compliance dismissals are kind of what it sounds like, but the law specifies what they are and how you gain the dismissal. That language in the law says the judge shall dismiss if. That really means I should look, and I do, and I look and see, but I can't go in that direction because I'm going to have to ask you questions to get you to that dismissal. So I can only do that on a plea of guilty or no contest. If you plead not guilty, it's something you could potentially talk to the prosecutor about, but I wouldn't automatically be looking on a plea of not guilty because I don't know what the contested issues might be. And judges are required to stay neutral, not predetermine facts, and not make decisions about them. And while something like a blinker might not feel like a big deal, the same rules apply there. And they can be a big deal if somebody's turning and you didn't know they were going to hit you. They can, it's still the same rules that apply to that type of conversation as would something more advanced as far as how the law treats it. So the rights are the same, and the judge can't just jump in and start talking to you about what did or didn't happen, especially if it is contested, which is not a not guilty plea or assumption. Let's check in. I'm going to pause the conversation that I'm having, and let's check in on the Nazir case with Attorney Koshy and Attorney Matson. If we could just, where are we? This is a single charge.
Your Honor, Mr. Koshy is going to take an offer back to his client.
Okay.
You could get a reset date to give him time to talk about that. That'd be great.
Okay, we certainly can. I am looking at a Zoom reset unless y'all want to come into court for that next check-in. I would be looking at May 14th.
That's perfect, Your Honor.
That's
Okay,
not unusual, Your Honor.
okay. So pretrial Zoom, May 14th. And Attorney Koshy, can we send that to the email that we sent the meeting for today to?
Yes, Your Honor.
Great, then it should be in your inbox soon. And we'll send an additional reminder, but we'll see you then.
All right. May I be excused?
With the thanks of the court, you are good to go when you choose.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. And I would ask, let's see, Attorney Galvin, I know that you are here with Jasmine Moore, and I
Yep.
didn't know if Ms. Moore was going to just hang out with me in the courtroom, 'cause it's the kind of courtroom, or if she was coming into the breakout room with you.
No, take her in the breakout room. Thank you.
Okay, will do. Ms. Moore, you'll be moved over to this meeting that y'all are having. We're not hearing your audio, and I don't know what that is, but your attorney seems to be on top of it. But at the end of that meeting, y'all will all come back over here as you've just seen me do with someone else. And if you're not able to get yourself over, I will assist on the technology side, okay? So here we go. Okay, they're moving over. And so I was talking about compliance dismissals. And now I want to just talk about the next. Oh, so with compliance dismissals, I'm just looking for those, talking to you about it, seeing if we can get you there. If we can get you there, we do that. But that is on a plea of guilty or no contest. You are welcome to ask if it's something that can be handled that way. I just can't rule on it and get enough detail from you to see if I'm able to sign off on it. Unless I have certain conditions, and I'll control that. You don't need to worry about that. But if I'm reticent, if I'm careful about how I'm talking to you, it'll be for that reason. You can ask though. I don't see a lot of those on my docket. Let me see. There might be one. There might be one. Yeah, so we'll just see what happens there. Now, the second way to gain a dismissal in a Class C court is if you take a driver safety course option. On a plea of guilty or no contest, a Class C judge should be looking and seeing if you qualify for that program and just letting you know, hey, do you want to do this? If you don't want to do it, you don't want to do it. Nobody can make you do that class, okay? It will save you some money and keep it off your record, even though you're going to do a course and a driving record. It's going to be less expensive paying those things. You pay the court cost, the class, and the record. It's going to clock in less than paying the whole ticket, and it's going to keep it off your driving record as a conviction. If you qualify and you plead guilty or no contest, the offense has to qualify, and then I have to qualify you for the program. If those two things line up, then you're choosing whether you want to do it or not. You're welcome to ask more about that. I just can't rule on it without violating certain rules unless there's a plea that allows me to get into the details. But it's not that complicated. It's just some detail information. So namely there, well, I'll just take a minute. Namely there, you've got to be, the offense has to qualify, so a moving violation. There are a few that can't be dealt with that way, and if it's yours, I'd let you know. Then you have to be on time to court. You either are military active or active military dependent, and you haven't been in the previous 12 months for purposes of gaining a dismissal. If you've got all that lined up, then you might be qualified to be in that program, and I would talk to you about it on a plea of guilty or no contest. Let's check in on the Jasmine Moore case. with Attorney Galvin and Attorney Matson, please? Oh, there he is. Yes. Y'all are both unmuted. Where are we?
We're gonna be moving forward with trial, Your Honor.
Okie doke. So my next available for trial will be jury trial. Is that our anticipation?
Yes, Judge.
So May 8th is our target. And I can send that over to you, Attorney Galvan. I will
Please.
ask that you reply to the email, just acknowledging the date
Yes,
as
Judge.
sort of commitment there, so that we don't have to do a full bond. Okay,
Agreed.
all right. Is there any other pretrial matter that needs to be taken up before the court regarding the Moore case?
Not at this
Not
time.
at this time, Your Honor.
Okay, if y'all file anything, try to get it in timely so I can rule on it before that date or set it if I need to. And unless there is anything further on this matter, I will let Attorney Galvan and Ms. Moore exit. Ms. Moore, your attorney will inform you about everything that is happening, and y'all can do what you need to do, you know, when y'all meet. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. And Attorney Galvan, do you have anything else before I excuse you?
No, Judge. May we be excused?
You may. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
Mr. Matson, I'm going to move you forward with Attorney Callahan, I think. Yes. Attorney Callahan is here on the Richard Walker case. Is that right? And does your mic work? I'm just confirming.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
Good morning. Perfect. Is your client here?
No, Your Honor.
That's fine. I'm going to move you over to that meeting with Attorney Matson.
Yes, ma'am. Good to see you, Judge.
Thank you, sir. So just back to, we did driving safety, and it is a way to keep you from having the item on your record and saves you money. And if you want more information about that, let me know. The third way to gain a dismissal is if you do what is called a deferred disposition. Deferred means to delay, and disposition, dispose of. Delay disposing of the case, putting a court order in place. The court order will list the things that need to be done in order to gain a dismissal. If you want a deferred in a Class C court, there are two pathways to get that. One is if you come to an agreement with the prosecutor, and y'all bring that to me. Usually, I'm going to sign off on it and agree. Okay. Sometimes people plead guilty or no contest and request a deferred. And in Class C court, you can request a deferred directly from the judge on a plea of guilty or no contest. Guilty or no contest, I would like a deferred, is how you do that. If you meet the terms and conditions of the court order that gets put in place in that deferral, if you actually just fulfill your side of that bargain, the bargain is you do the things listed and I dismiss the charge. So it's a way to know how to get a dismissal. There will be things to do, and we have to sort those pretty quickly. We have to address the financial obligation. That looks different per person, and I need to, dive into that a little bit with you. Sometimes there's a class, sometimes there's a record, or some kind of document that would need to be signed. If you have something like that and you request a deferred, in a Class C court, the judge is required to consider the request, but not required to grant it. But judges are required to give it due consideration and be open to the request. And I will do that upon request, but I don't automatically look for it or offer it directly to you, because there's a long legal reason why that would be that way. And I'm not going to take all your time. It would not be that interesting, but that's the status of the law, and there's good reasons for it. So we're going to just follow the law. That way I never guess. And so that's the third way to gain a dismissal, if you successfully complete a deferred. And then the fourth thing is if you qualify for a teen court program. That's middle school, high school, homeschool, sometimes even GED students. So if you're a high school student, or your client is a high school student, you're gonna let me know, because I might not know. Okay, and I can be a little pushier about that one than I can the deferred, because I get to assume that the person might not know. Okay, so that I did get through it before we're done, but we're going through things quickly. Let's see, on the Walker case, let's get a check-in. And where are we with regard to the Walker case?
Judge, Mr. Callahan and I had a proposal that we worked out that we wanted to see if you were agreeable to.
Okay, let me hear it.
Mr. Walker would take a driver safety course and complete probably 10 hours of community service. And if he's able to submit a type 3 driving record showing no infractions in the last year, he'd be able to get a dismissal based on those 3 conditions.
So, I'm not necessarily opposed to it. I'm just mechanically trying to sort out how we do that as a court. Because that really sounds like a pretrial diversion agreement between y'all. And, but blended with some kind of deferred where I'm waiving fines and costs. And I don't have a way to waive those fines and costs right now because I don't have a financial affidavit from the defendant, I believe. Let me double check that statement. We're checking. So I mean, I'm not saying no. I just don't mechanically know how we're getting there. If you want to deferred, I've got to make some kind of order regarding fines and costs. My authority to waive fines and costs is based on ability to pay under Texas law. And, you know, this type of charge normally would be like 14 hours of community service. I don't have a problem with 10. If the person qualifies and I can have what I need to survive the audit that I need to have. I'm looking though, they're handing me something. Hold on. So, oh, I see. So we also have a CDL driver in this case. So it sounds like something that you two may come to an agreement regarding with trust between the two of you, really outside the purview of the court. There's nothing untoward about that. It's just not something that we put in writing in Texas. I remember when they got rid of it because I was a brand new prosecutor and I thought, well, there went that tool. So, but then I realized, oh, well, now we just kind of call it a desktop instead of a pretrial diversion. We're getting back to pretrial diversions for students, but we don't have them for drivers. So if the prosecutor and you, Mr. Callahan, agree that your client has until the next court date to provide things to him that triggers him issuing a dismissal, I certainly, was there an accident that involved another vehicle? I think there was. And you're sorry, Attorney Callahan, you're muted. Let's have you unmute.
I'm so sorry. There was a minor accident, Judge. That everything that you're saying, Judge, is in line with what we would propose. What I would propose to the court is maybe a 30-day reset or whenever the court meets again so that our client can get that done to the satisfaction of the prosecutor.
Okay. The only thing that I would say is that I would want to see something that demonstrated to me that we're not jumping into an insurance dispute. So if insurance covered the accident or if the driver paid for the damage, something like that would be my only requirement for signing the dismissal that would be proposed. Do both attorneys understand what I'm telling you? Mr. Mattson, are you on board?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. So I guess my reset then would be May 14th. That's about a month from today. Let me just kind of quickly look at my calendar and see. That's probably what's best for the court. Yeah, that's going to be our reset to do online. And of course, if I'm given a dismissal prior and it meets what I need and what the prosecutor wants in order to make that proposal, then I would not hesitate to sign it.
Great.
I'm making notes. Okay, I've got those notes. So if I receive that, I'll match the two things together. And the way that I read this is a course, 10 hours of community service, proof of coverage. Did we say a driving record or no?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I put. And then I thought, well, maybe not. Okay, got it. Gentlemen, any further questions?
None from the state, Your Honor.
No,
Okay.
Your Honor.
Attorney Callahan, thank you for your time. You are free to go with the thanks of the court.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
Mr. Mayor.
And Attorney Stone, I'm moving you over as well. I know his works. And I need to call for a few people that appear to not be here. Let's see, Miss Jones, I've got you down. Cara Cooper, are you here? Did I miss you? I can make a ruling on that, and I'm waiving funds and costs due to domestic violence. Just gonna make sure nobody else is here. Okay. Khadijah Campbell, are you here? How many resets have we? Campbell, do we know? I'll double check. Here's what? No problem. 11-14-93. So one of them. Wait, now what? Oh, on Campbell. And then she has contested charge, right? She's on the pre-trial. She needs to come in for live court. And if we can scoot her into a current docket, that would be best. Because she's got warrants. Thank you. Miranda Caro, are you here? Made some notes there. She's gonna need to post a bond unless I make a further order, and I wouldn't have her come do live court anymore. I mean, online, she can't do it. If you've got a warrant and you don't show up for this, I don't let you do it again. What this one needs. This one. Isaiah Reynosa. Whew. Goodness gracious. Okay. On the Castro Rodriguez case, where are we?
Your Honor, Mr. Stone is going to take an offer back to his client. So if we could reset to the next Zoom hearing, that'd be great.
Okay, next available is May 14th. Will that work for you both?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, we'll send that to the email that we sent this meeting to. Will that work?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. With the thanks of the court, then, Attorney Stone, you're good to go.
I appreciate it, Judge. Have a good rest of your day. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
You'd like.
See you.
Welcome, Attorney Wolf. We'll be with you shortly. Mr. Whitaker, your audio's on, and that's fine because I'm about to move you over to that meeting with the prosecutor. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. This is a window, so. That makes sense. Thank you. Wish I could do that to my spot. Yeah. Limited value, but I'll take it. Khadijah Campbell wrote down. Let me see what's up. Just got sent to me.
Oh, it's the same thing.
Okay.
You already did.
Okay, no problem. Here we go. Let's see. Let me get Mr. Whitaker back over. Okay, so let's check in on the two things that are pending before the court regarding Mr. Whitaker.
So, Your Honor, Mr. Whitaker and I have reached an agreement. I'm going to be dismissing one of his charges,
Okay,
and the other charge, I'm going to be reducing the fine.
okay. Which one is being dismissed?
The one ending in 190,
Okay,
and then the one ending in 139. I'm going to reduce the fine from $300 to $20. That'll bring the total cost to $34.
as long as it checks out with the system on the court costs, I don't have a problem with that. I can do that here in the court. I do want to ask Mr. Whitaker, can you pay the $34 today?
I
You'll have,
believe he said yes, ma'am, but he is muted.
okay, yeah, let me help him.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so give me a few minutes to get the record to reflect those changes. And then will you be going online and paying or coming by the court?
Going online and paying.
Okay, so it would be, let's make sure you have the right cause number for the one that you're looking to pay. And if you have it, do you have it written down? Because I have TCC 2470-1139-7287. And you don't want to do that until we get the record to reflect the reduction, because otherwise it's going to try to charge you the whole amount. So hang on a moment while we get that done, and I'll let you know here in a moment when we get that done. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, and Mr. Mattson will take it from here with the court, and I will let you and Mrs. Beckley Jones move into conversation.
Your Honor, before Mrs. Beckley Jones has moved over, I actually did review her case file earlier.
Okay,
She's already submitted a Texas driver's license, which is what I was going to be looking for. So
okay,
I'm going to move to dismiss at this time.
okay. And that's just on your motion?
Yes.
Okay, we can do that here in the court on this motion. Ms. Beckley Jones, the state has exercised its discretion and decided to dismiss the charge. I will sign that dismissal here shortly. When I do, we will then scan it and send it to the email that we use to set up this meeting. Is that acceptable as far as the email to use?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you're welcome to stay on if you want to watch, but you're free to go.
Thank you.
Okay,
Have a good one, everyone.
thank you. Just the fine on Mr. Whitaker is going down to $20. The total should then come to 34. And then I will move Attorney Wolf and Attorney Mattson over. Oops. Okay. Okay, Mr. Whitaker. Almost ready. We're good.
Okay.
We are good to go. Everything's settled, okay? Just once you pay that $34, while that is a conviction, it's not a moving violation. And the reduction I've honored, and the dismissal on the other charge I have honored, okay?
Okay. Thank you so much. Have a great one.
Thank you. You're good to go. You too. Oh. Thank you. Okay. Rock and roll here. Boom, boom. Almost done. Sadly, it's because a few people weren't here, but it's so muggy. Yeah. My dehumidifier at home is just running like gangbusters.
I can tell it's very, it's all of their skills.
Oh, that's cute. Have you seen that? That's like a TikTok thing, or I don't know which platform, but it's a little video, and it's a Yorkie, and he's on a couch, right? And he's rubbing all over the couch, like, scratching himself, rubbing. And the mother, or the owner, says his name. It's in Spanish, and she says whatever his name, Chico, and he stops and looks at her, and the static has taken over the body of the hair of this dog, and it is just straight out like this. And she starts laughing because it looks at her. It's like that. And she says, like, what are you doing? And it looks like, I don't know, am I guilty of something? It looks so funny. It's so cute. And that's the opposite of humidity. But for dogs, that's funny that your dog has bad hair days.
Oh,
For folks watching, I'm talking to the clerk. So the under part does something, and then the top part does something.
keep it that way. We should.
That's funny.
Oh, here's a one.
What kind of pup is he again? Yeah, that's it, a Maltese. I eventually will get another dog, but I want to travel some on my body will let me.
Yes.
And also I worry about my cousin's dog because she's blind, and I worry that another dog will just like jump all over her face. And because when my daughter's dog comes to play, dogs can register a lot, but they don't seem to register a thing like that, like blindness. And so it's trying to play with her, and we're just, panicked all the time. My cousin was telling me I could get a possum instead.
Awesome.
Can you see that? I mean, I'm all for them. They don't scare me or anything like that. They do good things, but I don't think I could keep one as a pet. I don't mind feeding the ones that come to my yard, but they don't like to come to my yard anymore because there's a raccoon coming to my yard now. Pretty big too. Pretty big raccoon. Oh, and it's so clever. I'll have to show you a video. It turns the light on, the automatic, the motion sensor.
Uh-huh.
So I got up and went to look. And later when I reviewed the video, because I have videos all around, it went up to the back door, and it was going to try to get in the dog door. And when it heard me get up, it ran and hid behind a water barrel and waited to see what I did before it ran away. And you can see it high crouched because the camera's on this side of it.
Okay.
And it's like, yeah, it's really funny. And I, of course, didn't see it, but I'm sure everyone out there wants, if anyone's even watching, that they really want to know about my raccoon. I believe it lives in my neighbor's garage, because there's lots for it to eat over there. They have chickens.
Is it?
Plea bargain, yes. I would like, when we order these, are they just, do we have to make a new signature for each time we order them? Or do they use
It
them?
depends
Mhm.
on how bad the signature's been.
I like this one. This is our newest one.
Yes.
And I've really thought about getting one that I use for certain occasions in blue ink. And so I wonder if we can make that happen at some point. No hurry. Because, like this summer.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think we can do that.
Okay.
Miss Beckley Jones is going to be compliance decision.
Yes. And the reason why the blue ink idea came to me is I just hate when I sign these and it doesn't look good. But my hands, so I was thinking about stamping them. Doesn't look as good though, especially on this pretty. I just need to take my time.
So I'm thinking about getting some signatures.
Mhm.
So I can tell the difference.
Mhm. Yeah, that's actually why you do it in law. Your original is blue. And it was only coming to work for the court that I stopped carrying a blue pen with me everywhere. And I still, you find I do blue when I write. And I also just prefer it, but yeah. No, it's everything at once. So I have an key on the day.
It's graduation.
So, yes, we love that. I'm trying to sort out, they want me to kind of like PTA. So I'm providing the cake, right? And we don't know how many people will be there. And I said, well, what do you want the cake to be like? And they were like, well, just do whatever you want. Well, I'm thinking a nice, beautiful cake. And then one of the parents says, well, maybe we can just have their names on it. And I'm like, are you thinking of sheet cake? Because I'm I'm thinking of hiring a baker, this is a big deal for me. There's only 4 kids graduating. I want a big cake. I want something like the wedding type cake, except tastier. So I gotta go sample some stuff. I'm just gonna do something totally cool, outrageous. So then my thought was I'll ask the kids what they would like, and you go like, what kind of cake? And someone's gonna say, vanilla or chocolate or strawberry, right? And this one kid, he goes, caramel. And I'm like,
How do you make a caramel?
that is not happening. Well, I have a recipe for caramel cake. It's very difficult. Like, boy, there must be some bakers in that family. Somebody knows their stuff. Because that's difficult. I forgot what I said to you about Miss Campbell, Khadijah. I'm allowing it, but she's got to commit it right. Thank you. I can write it down. Does she have a placard? I'll look. See, like on that one, we've got all this community service. It got sent to me as community service. Um, when we go to archive things like that, where files from other cases got scanned into the wrong file, do we clean that up or do we just leave it?
Should be cleaned up.
Okay.
Does it not do it?
No, she scanned it in there. And it started with me because it all got sent to me as a community service extension. And I thought it was included, but it wasn't. And it wasn't sent to me for something else. It just got sent to me. Hi, where are we on the, and by the way, Attorney Wolf, I didn't say it. Thank you for your message this morning. That helps. Where are we on the Campbell case? I'm
Judge,
sorry, wrong case. I'm looking at the wrong file. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. This is on Cadence Education. So now where are we?
2 quick points, Your Honor. One, Mr. Wolf is going to take an offer back to his client to discuss.
Sure.
2, the fine is listed on OpenGov as $500 for each violation.
Yes.
And I pulled up the ordinance while we were talking, and it says punishable by a fine of up to $150 for each violation in 1224C. So I wanted to make sure that got a note was made of that so that there's not a incorrect fine being assessed on each of these cases.
I'm going to email the clerk about that because that'll be a software thing that we need to fix across the board. No problem. Not a problem. We can make an adjustment manually on these cases, but I'll get the other addressed. So noted. Where are we now?
Can we
Resetting to
reset
another
to the
page.
May 14th Zoom setting so that Mr. Wolf can talk to his client about the offer?
No problem. That sounds fine. And we'll get, I'm not going to do reductions directly on this case yet, but I will recognize that that's part of what we're going to address when we come back. I've got a software, something got attached to a process that shouldn't be. So I'll get that worked on. Zoom. Let's see, Zoom 514. Yes. Okay, gentlemen, can I send that to the email that we have on file, Mr. Wolf?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. We'll see you then.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your patience this morning. Y'all have a good one.
It wasn't necessary. It's good to know that I'm not wondering. Y'all too. Thank you. Let's see.